deacon at Moraine City Baptist Church. Has done auto body repair for 40 years and has been retired for 1 year or a little, almost 2 years. His favorite things to do are play with his grandchildren and serve people through the church. He is coming to us with Presentation Mastery, Level 2, Project 2, and the title is Vice President of Education. All right.
Well, a week or so ago, I had to give a training on Vice President of Education. And I was thinking while I was giving that all of us might be able to use some of that information. I want to read to you what Toastmaster says the Vice President of Education is. As Vice President of Education, you schedule members' speeches, verify the completion of projects, serve as a resource for questions about the education program, conduct a speech contest, you're a club mentor program, you're an important source of Toastmasters knowledge for the club members. It is your job to become familiar with all aspects of the Toastmaster education program. Isn't that interesting? That's a lot of responsibilities, isn't it, Judy?
Bye.
And I wanted to share that with you a little bit. I have been Vice President of Education 2 times, and just one time with the Pathway Education Program, so it made it a little more interesting. But I thought, you hear Judy and I banter back and forth, it's really not as bad as we make it out to be, but it is a lot of responsibility and it's a lot of work. We just can't show up on Wednesday morning and expect everything to happen. I mean, we have to coordinate the schedule, and then Toastmasters here says we should do that 3 to 4 weeks in advance, and that's with our club, that's what we're doing. And I know I'm preaching to the choir today, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of information. But also, one of the things we have to make sure that if a new member signs up for a position, we gotta make sure it's not like Toastmaster of the Day and they've only been here one meeting, they don't know what Toastmaster of the Day is. And also, when they take that position, it's our responsibility to make sure they know how to do that position. To kind of be their mentor a little bit until they get a mentor that's helping them. The other part is to support the education program. And one of the things that's our responsibility within a few weeks after a new member signs up to be a member is to make sure that they get into Pathways, get registered through Pathways, and try to help them through that a little bit. So make sure that they got their program and teach them how to go through that a little bit. When, kind of like me when I came to Vice President of Education, I didn't know how to do it myself, so I had to learn it. So being Vice President actually stretches you a little bit, at least it did me. Especially not being computer literate as like some people are and able to go right through it, but that helps you grow. And that's what Toastmasters is about, is it helps us grow. I really was struggling because I agreed to do this training program. Then I realized it's 50 minutes long. I had to talk for 50 minutes. That's a long time to talk about big VP of Education. One of the interesting things that I learned that is in Toastmasters, it doesn't say of education, it says VP President Education. And I don't know why that is, but it seems like it should say of. And also, part of the VP of Education's responsibilities is to encourage members to move forward. We all kind of get stuck in a rut sometimes. We kind of get out of giving speeches, that was what I want to say. And I know for me, when I got out of giving speeches, when I came back and did the first one, it was like doing the first icebreaker almost. I was almost so nervous getting up here the first time because I hadn't given a speech in quite a while. I was very concerned about being able to do it, and I had those nerves. So that's part of the VP of Education's program also. One of the other things that not everybody knows about this, but if you get overwhelmed as VP of Education, you can ask for help. You can get people to help you. And that's a good way to get somebody interested in possibly taking that position for the next year. And that's all positions, officer positions. We need to ask other people for help, kind of mentor them through the program, and get them started to be able to take over those positions. I know since COVID, our club has kind of shrunk down a little bit, so basically everybody almost has an officer position, but there's a few people that are still available to take on a position, but we've all kind of fallen into where I took a vacation this year. Thanks to Judy, and I do appreciate that. The other thing is base camp. The club vice president of education, the president and club secretary are the only ones that are allowed to get into base camp and be able to approve people's pass when they finish them, their levels. And you're not allowed to put your own in. Isn't that interesting? I could be a DTM by now. But you're not allowed to put your information in. Nope. And Toastmasters have been pretty good about that, and it's been a little difficult for me. You also have to plan a speech contest. The best part about planning a speech contest is finding a speech contest chair, because they're the one responsible for running it, and you just help support them. And you're also, which in our club, we've never really done this a whole lot, is having a mentor program. It seems like most people have been attached to somebody when they come. You kind of recognize, okay, we kind of have something in common, whatever it is, whether it be their gender or whatever, somebody is connected with them and has mentored them. At least that's what I have seen since I've been here. We've never said, okay, Carol, you're gonna be so-and-so's mentor, just out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? But somehow you have, like somebody you knew came to the club or whatever. You have a lot of responsibilities before club meetings. I mean, you have to make sure the schedule is ready, people are filling the positions. You notify the club president if everything is going okay, if there's any awards that need to be awarded during the meeting. Upon arrival of the meeting, you verify that members are assigned to meeting rules, have arrived, and are prepared for their duties. It's actually a big role for everyone. So what I want to ask everyone is, this is an old one, Judy, so don't get worried. When this is passed around, please put your name on it. It makes the VP of Education's job so much easier. I took this a lot of responsibility personally. When I first started doing this, the people weren't signing up and I was getting agitated about it. But when I finally realized it's the club's responsibility to do it. It's not my responsibility. I need to encourage people to do it. When I took this position a long time ago, and it was just the books, I almost texted people, begged them to fill positions at one time. But we need to just help out, fill this out, and if need be, take 2 positions, kind of like Carol has followed them to do this morning, and volunteer to do that. That would help our VP of Education a lot. So thank you, Toastmasters.